So today I'm going to be assisting you guys with solving a problem that many men have suffered for millennia throughout history. Since the beginning of time, men have suffered from the consequences of having a high sex drive, a high libido. They have suffered from the disease known as post-nut clarity. Okay, now what is post-nut clarity? Man makes a decision based on his lust or his libido or his sex drive, and then afterwards, once he has completed that decision, he regrets it because his mind is now unfettered by lust. So that's basically what it is. Now, there are two types of post-nut clarity, okay? There's active and passive. All right, now I'm going to explain active. Active post-nut clarity is when you perform an act in the fog of lust and then immediately regret it afterwards. Okay, these include, but are not limited to, masturbating, jerking off, fucking a girl that is not the best looking, falling in love, cheating, or fucking someone you're not supposed to, like a friend, a friend's girlfriend, or a family member, etc. So those are big no-nos. Now let's go to passive post-nut clarity. Now, passive post-nut clarity occurs when you receive evidence or proof through other people's information or your own discovery that shows you that you are acting out of character. You ever met a new girl and you told your friends about her, and then you're like, they're saying, let me see a picture. And then you go to her Instagram and you're just like, damn. Just give me a second, bro. Just give me a second. Ooh. She don't really take good pictures like this. She don't take good, she's not photogenic. Oh. And then as you're scrolling through hundreds of photos, you start to realize in the back of your mind, is my bitch ugly? Like, what am I doing? That is a clear example of passive post-nut clarity, where you receive information when put on the spot, and it shows you that you're not really thinking logically. You're thinking with your other head. Another example of passive post-nut clarity is realizing how much money you spent on a chick and you haven't even smashed. It's like the fifth date in the past 3 weeks, and you've taken her here, there, everywhere, and you haven't even got a kiss on the cheek yet. And you're just like, how much money have I spent on this bitch? Damn. I need to rethink my priorities here, because I shouldn't be spending this much money. Another instance of passive post-nut clarity is when your friends point out that you're acting weird. Have you ever invited her over? Well, nah, she's always busy. Has she ever texted you first? Well, nah, but I mean, she has a hefty work schedule, so I usually reach out to her. Okay, so you never invited her to your place, and you're always the one that initiates. Does she even like you, my nigga? And you're like, yeah, of course. And you start to think, right? And that's another form of passive post-nut clarity. And the last way that you experience post-nut clarity passively is when you see the girl do something that's really gross. Like you see her like puke, or you see her like pick her nose, or just do something like just really nasty. And you're just like, oh, what the fuck? And it just snaps you back into reality. Wait a minute. I don't really like, what am I really doing here? You know what I mean? So those are the ways that you receive passive post-nut clarity. Now I'm going to tell you how to avoid post-nut clarity altogether, because to be honest, it's never really worth it. The real reason that you're receiving this post-nut clarity syndrome is because you're in scarcity. Meaning that you believe that the girl that you're focusing on is your only option. So you're making a lot of concessions, ignoring a lot of red flags just to get to the finish line. But once you do get to the finish line, you realize that the juice was not really worth the squeeze. Usually never is. Now, how to avoid post-nut clarity? You gotta basically just talk to battered chicks, bro. Like, you can't go for the low-hanging fruit. Now, I have a friend, right? And this friend, he goes for women that I like to call muffins. Why do I call them muffins? If you look at how a muffin is composed, right? It's a small, skinny bottom with an overflowing top, right? Meaning there's a bunch of stuff at the top and nothing at the bottom. So that's a muffin. Basically, a muffin is just an overweight chick. But what I noticed my bro would do is he would go after muffins because subconsciously he didn't want to go after battered chicks because he believed that going after battered chicks would have a lower success rate. So he went after muffins, and yeah, he would have success, but then afterwards, post-nut clarity. Right. So in order for you to avoid that, you go after battered chicks. Yes, it's more difficult, but when you succeed with them, the post-nut clarity is slim to none. Now that's a way to avoid active post-nut clarity. Now, how do you avoid passive post-nut clarity? Simple. Whenever you are doing something for a girl, spending time with a girl, dealing with a girl that you find attractive, ask yourself if you're treating her any differently than you would treat an ugly girl. If you're treating her differently than you would treat an ugly girl, you're giving her special treatment. And here's the thing with women. When you give them a special treatment and they have not earned it, they become entitled. They become spoiled. They become ungrateful. So what you need to do is treat them as you would treat an ugly chick. Meaning you don't give them too much, just enough. And if they earn more, then you give them more. That is how it must be. If you go all in just because he's attractive, you're going to realize over time that you're giving more than you're getting. Because women naturally are extractors, they're naturally takers. They don't really have a stopping point. They'll take until there's nothing left. So you have to put limiters on yourself in order for her to appreciate each level of generosity that you give her. Now, why does approaching and sleeping with hotter women eliminate so much post-nut clarity? Mainly because if you are constantly drained, no diddy, right? If you're constantly drained, then you're going to be able to think a lot clearer because you're not swamped or overcome or just taken over by lust anymore. Now you can make clear, rational decisions so you don't keep running into instances where you're compromising yourself and your integrity just for some ass cheeks, right? And listen, at the end of the day, everyone has gone through post-nut clarity. I have. Everyone I know has. It's a fact of life. I mean, lust is lust, bro. We all do stupid things for women from time to time. I still fuck up here and there when my scarcity is a little bit too strong. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. Really, the best way to combat the post-nut clarity, like I said, is just to raise your standards. Have more respect for yourself. Have more boundaries set. Okay? When you see that she is not giving you any type of interest without you having to force it, just leave it, bro. Because you're just going to dig yourself into a deeper hole. And if you see a girl that you normally wouldn't date, but you're just, I need something, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. Trust me. Do not become the muffin man. All right? Do not become the muffin man. I need you to stay strong, raise your standards, employ discipline, and improve yourself so you can attract better women. Otherwise, you're going to be in a perpetual cycle of post-nut clarity. That's it for today, guys. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. I'm King's Wisdom. I got merch, link in description. I also do one-on-one consultations. Make sure to hit me up there. You're welcome.